Now, I don't care what anybody thinks, you guys already know I would never even think about doing a Dragon Ball What If, much less my very first one without including Vegeta at some point. And at the end of part 2, as Gohan furthered his training under Whis, Vegeta would go on to appear. Gohan was shocked that Whis would resort to outside means to this extreme, but Whis is certain that this is just what Gohan needs to understand what he truly is. I know that sounds familiar. Goku too would see this inner potential in Gohan, these spurts of rage in the past that he displayed being indications of the things that he would truly be capable of, but no one would expect what would truly become of him. In part 2, after the initial match with Broly, Gohan began to seek even more power, without the help of his father, and approach Whis for advice. Whis would go on to set Gohan on the correct path if he so desired and were up to the task, and Gohan fared very well under his watch. Broly would continue training with Goku as well, perfecting his Akari form to the best of his abilities, but the next step in both of their training would truly test their very willpower. I really appreciate all the love on the first 2 What Ifs, guys. It means a lot. So if you want to see more of this in the future, be sure to leave a like on the video and let's try to get to 3K for a part 4. I mean, that is if Vegeta lets Gohan survive long enough for a part 4, because he isn't cutting any corners with his training. As you've guessed, Gohan, I've enlisted Vegeta for assistance on this training in particular. Whis looks at Vegeta silently as Vegeta turns his head in agitation, saying, "Yes, as we discussed." This is when Vegeta and Gohan both take on their forms as Gohan unleashes his potential and Vegeta transforms into Super Saiyan Blue. "Is that all you've got?" Vegeta scoffs at him. "You disappoint me, Gohan. If only you'd taken having the blood of a Saiyan seriously this whole time. But at this point, you're not even close to my or Kakarot's level anymore. And yet you expect to lay a hand on that monstrous Saiyan and win?" Vegeta's kind of spitting right now, but this would pretty much be the point of Gohan's training at the moment, telling Vegeta that that's why he's here now and there's no way he's losing to him. Gohan's heart is pretty admirable, but the gap between he and Vegeta at this point is pretty large. Gohan does possess something special that may come to light when he truly accepts what's in his heart and learns to control and temper it 100%, and Whis' idea may be just the right thing for that. As soon as Vegeta and Gohan begin sparring, it's beyond apparent that Gohan, although back in fighting shape thanks to his training with Whis up until this point, is still not up to par with Vegeta just yet. They clash back and forth as Vegeta pretty much just toys with Gohan, asking him can he see the problem now. "You've always been too soft," Vegeta tells him. "I imagine you haven't trained much, if at all, since the tournament. All that potential going to waste. And you call yourself Kakarot's son." Gohan begins to grow angry now as they continue to fight, with Vegeta continuing to bash him about being an absolute disappointment to his father as a Saiyan for being so lazy and passive. "That Saiyan blood that runs through you represents the will of warriors," Vegeta explains to him, "and you are a disgrace." "You don't know anything," Gohan shouts as he repels Vegeta back finally. Gohan, still getting more and more furious, becomes the aggressor now, charging at Vegeta with furious power. Vegeta is still unimpressed, however, as he begins to smirk, but this is when something kinda strange happens. Gohan charges a full power Masenko wave and fires at Vegeta, expecting him to dodge it. Vegeta instead, however, takes the blast head on, barely shielding himself. Gohan still follows up, however, with instantaneous movement to catch Vegeta off guard, appearing behind him and firing a Kamehameha at the back of his head. Once again, however, Vegeta doesn't move and is met with the full force of a Kamehameha as it almost knocks him to a knee. Gohan's rage has finally begun to show itself after Vegeta's words, but the test has only just begun. As the smoke clears, Vegeta, still on one knee, with his outfit halfway burnt off, only shows a grin, telling Gohan that if he wants to see true destructive power, then he'd be more than happy to demonstrate. "These little parlor tricks of yours are child's play, Gohan," he says to him. When Vegeta stands back up, that intense, dark purple aura is encapsulating him once again with malice and destructive energy. Vegeta has once again transformed into Ultra Ego. Vegeta laughs as Gohan stumbles backwards in confusion, shouting, "Come on, Gohan, show me how much of a Saiyan you really are now." Vegeta instantly appears in front of Gohan and grabs him by the face, slamming him into the ground below. "You can only blame yourself and your father for allowing you to fall into such a massive gap behind us. In my opinion," he goes on, "you haven't even been that impressive since the threat of that creature Majin Buu. You are a Saiyan," he says, "but it's these earthly things that have you confused on just who you are inside and your instincts. Learn to maintain your pride as a Saiyan and allow that rage built up inside of you to be the bridge to the true power you possess as one." Vegeta continues to absolutely wail on Gohan, tossing him high and low across the battlefield, as this is starting to seem more like torture than training. Gohan suddenly kicks Vegeta off of him and fires Ki Blasts across the battlefield. Angered, Gohan wipes the dust from his face, but he can't help but hear the ring of Vegeta's words in his head. Rage, instincts, pride. Gohan slowly begins to understand that those ferocious emotions he feels when he or the ones he loves are threatened isn't something to be afraid of or lock away. "Looks like you still have some fight left in you after all," Vegeta says as he walks back towards Gohan. Gohan roars at him, warning Vegeta that this isn't over yet, and flies into the sky preparing his next attack. He charges a Super Kamehameha with every ounce of his energy left, but across from him, Vegeta of course obliges and starts creating a Gallic gun, bringing his arms behind him. They fire their attacks as a massive beam struggle begins, and Gohan is already struggling. Vegeta continues to push Gohan, warning him that if he doesn't get it together right now, then he'll just have to be remembered as the failed son of the Saiyan Kakarot who couldn't take the next leap. Gohan continues to struggle in the face of Vegeta's overwhelming power and Ultra Ego, pleading that he just needs more power. "If I lose here, Vegeta's right. I only hold Dad back." Vegeta's attack continues to force Gohan back, and it doesn't seem like he's letting up at all, even if it's Gohan, as Gohan begins picturing his family. Han, Adele, Mom, Dad, Goten. "I don't want to disappoint any of you," he thinks to himself. And this is when it happened. This is when something absolutely snapped within Gohan, whether it be from fear of losing himself and his loved ones, or just being crushed by Vegeta's absolute power. This wouldn't be just any simple transformation, however, because under the might of Vegeta's Gallic gun attempting to destroy him, Gohan's rage would absolutely snap under the pressure of not only Vegeta's attack, but his words as well, as he's then engulfed by the beam. Only inches away from death, Gohan would fight with every fiber of his willpower to overcome such an attack, and with no time for himself to react, and being inferior in power, Gohan's body enters the ultimate state of fight or flight. Within the blast, Gohan begins to transform as rage overtakes him. His aura begins to explode larger and larger. Slowly, Gohan undergoes a form that resembles an aura shape similar to Super Saiyan Rage, but the colors more so follow Ultra Instinct. Whatever this power is that Gohan's attained, it seems he's finally done it. Gohan's rage has blossomed and his Saiyan instincts have finally been pulled into play. Vegeta approaches him slowly as the smoke around him clears. Gohan's entire gi has been almost destroyed, and the wounds all over him tell the tale of a fierce battle to get to this point. Gohan's raging potential has finally been unleashed, as Vegeta says, well, it looks like you're worth more than I thought." I think I'll go ahead and wrap up part 3 here, guys. I appreciate all the love and support on this series. I've actually changed a lot from the original script I was gonna go with, and I think I will probably keep making changes as I continue. But if you want to see more, be sure to hit that sub button and notification bell to never miss the next upload as soon as it goes live. It's actually been a pretty crazy month, but I want to thank all of you guys for rocking with me as we tried a couple of different things here and there. We haven't found the secret sauce yet, but there's still a lot of stuff I want to do. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching until the end. If you made it this far, remember, let's try to hit that 3K likes for part 4 of our very first What If, but I know that's going to be pretty easy to do. Anyways, have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next one.